It's fantasy football draft season. We're also kicking off preseason games as well. We're going to cover the news on a batch of players, see whether or not you need to pay up for them or watch their values in your drafts as you're drafting this weekend, next weekend, few weekends coming up. But before we dig in, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're dropping player rankings. We're dropping strategy tips. We're looking for ways to win your league, win your draft. We're going to help you set lineups, and we're going to help you find diamonds in the rough off the waiver wire every single day through the rest of the year. Click that button. Stop missing out. Free resource here. But Tony Pollard is stepping up. And what we're seeing here is Tyjae Spears out for a couple weeks with an injury. And the thing is, he was solid last year. He's cheap right now in drafts. He's an afterthought. And the thing is, there was a notion that he was going to share some of the carries here with Tyjae Spears. Not going to happen. Not going to happen until he's back. And he was solid. He was steady. Not a top-tier producer. Got you 2 RB1 weeks. But he was steady last year, especially when it came at cost. And what you're seeing right now at cost, and if it continues to stay this way, I expect to see some sort of bump in value for him when it comes to ADP, especially underdog. But home league drafts, they're going to look at the Titans. They're going to look at Pollard. But if you're going here RB, your top running back, first couple rounds of the draft, you want to stack wide receivers, or if the draft just happens to be that way, if you're going best player available, and now you're looking at maybe like a Tony Pollard later in the dead zone area when there's no dead zone this year of your draft as your RB2, you're not dead. You're still looking good with a strong wide receiver core. It really depends on how you strategize or what just happens to you in your draft. But looking at what he did last year, new quarterback, new look, that's something to think about. Jaden Reed is dealing with an injury. They're saying he's probably going to be back week 1. But you're also looking at Matthew Golden, who's been killing it in camp right now. He's going to be out there on the field getting opportunities, and he'll get more opportunity as things progress up until the start of the season. Do this, and we got to see if him being a boot means that the news that we got with him being back week 1 is actually going to be later on down the road. Because when coaches talk, when they mean week to week, it could be month to month. Day to day could be week to week. Always keep that in line. But watching the line on Jaden Reed, I want that value to drop. I want that discount. And if you get that discount, take it. Because they're expecting him to be back week 1. So if he's back a little bit later than that, you're still getting a good wide receiver at a discount. Matthew Golden should be getting opportunities. That's something to pay attention to, but know that he's suffering an injury right now if you're drafting today. Tomorrow, T-Mac looked solid in his debut in preseason. Got 5 targets. 2 of those he shouldn't have been targeted, but they were chucking it at him anyways. That's the thing. Andy Dalton didn't care. He knew T-Mac was down there, covered, but he's like, let's take the chance because it's T-Mac. That's what you're going to see out of T-Mac. He's got a good rapport with Bryce Young. Bryce Young slings him the rock, and his targets with Young, and most of his targets deep downfield, above 10 yards per target. The second catch was 13 yards. The other one was down the boundary, and that lends well for fantasy football because you want deeper targets. You want a good target share, and I expect him to have over 20+% target share, probably pushing 25% in a lot of these games, if not down the stretch as he's acclimated, as he's ramping up to the NFL game. I think T-Mac's going to have a good rookie season. I think his price is rising in ADP for underdog. He was around that 5th, 6th round area, but he's rising a little bit, and he's rising even more after the preseason game. But now we're looking at Braylon Allen and the Jets. A lot of people down on Breece Hall. A lot of people scared of Breece Hall. A lot of people up on Braylon Allen. But the thing is, ever since they brought in Justin Fields with no competition, did you really think they're going to air raid this offense out, throw it 30, 40 times a game? Or did you think they were going to lean on the run? They're going to use these running backs. They call these 2 running backs the killer bees. They've been calling them that since the inception last year. Braylon Allen's really showing you off the rip what he can do. And if you remember last year during the draft process, he was dealing with an injury throughout the whole process back in his final year at Wisconsin. And now we're further removed from that. And now you're starting to see the explosiveness come through on the clips. And everybody's getting excited. He's a good running back. He's going to jump in ADP. You should have bought him weeks ago. He was cheap at ADP. We've been calling that out. We've been calling that out with Breece Hall. Those two got a good split in ADP where you can get both running backs. And you could possibly use both of them. Both of them be functional in fantasy football. They're both going to get a lot of work. Now, if you're scared of Breece Hall, you're scared of Breece Hall. But he's going to get work in the passing game. When you look at him ADP, the scaredness of drafters is baked in there. So you see a little separation there. So he's kind of in that Kyren Williams range. But Kyren Williams should be seeing a little bump in ADP as well, considering the contract. That's you and you do you. But both these backs are split where you can get them both. If I got Breece Hall, I'll pay around premium on Braylon Allen and get him a little bit earlier. I'll just get them both. They're going to use both running backs. They're going to run the ball to a fault this year. They're not aerating it out. You're not aerating the offense out with Justin Fields and just Garrett Wilson as your only wide receiver with talent. They're not aerating it out. They're going to live off the RPO game. They're going to use the two running backs. Probably interchange them a little bit. They're going to get down in some games. They're probably going to use Breece Hall a little bit in the passing game in those games. In the flat and those check downs, those are going to be money touches. Braylon Allen's going to get his opportunity because they're going to run these running backs to death. That's the thing about this. They're going to run these running backs to death. Travion Henderson is killing it. Killed it in preseason. He's looking good in camp. But the take remains. There's a fork in the road here. And it may change to the point that his ADP jumps so much that he's past it. But are you going with the veterans there? Chuba, Alvin, Connor, David Montgomery. Or are you going with the rookies in the range? This is the top of the dead zone area. Dead zone doesn't exist anymore. It's deep at running back. Or are you going to strategize this? You go top level running back, your here RB, maybe even two of them. Wide receiver. Go with one of those rookies, Hendo, Harvey, Johnson. And then you do whatever you do at the end of that draft. Or are you going to start off going heavy at wide receiver and maybe take like a third or fourth round running back mixed in there, coming back with an Alvin Kamara, James Conner. You got to strategize around this. This is why we're looking at the draft strategies. There's a chance that he goes off this year in a major way. And there's also a good chance that we have a rookie ramp up. And I got to bring that to the discussion here because Devin Achane, I'm just going back to those flashbacks because we said, hey, draft him. But the thing is, he had a little ramp up. It was not being productive. And a lot of people were dropping him that first couple weeks during his rookie season. And the thing is, you got to allow these rookies time to ramp up, get their opportunities. And when they flash, it's over with. They're the guy. Same thing might be here with Travion Henderson, RJ Harvey, Caleb Johnson, whoever, whatever rookie, maybe even T-Mac, whatever it is. Give grace period to these rookies. If you can't do that, you can't wait 2, 3, 4 weeks, be patient, finesse your lineup, your bench. Stay away from these rookies and stop doing it. But if you can, you understand what I'm talking about, that you're going to have to wait, and there's a little bit of gamble with the wait, go do it. The upside's there. It's immense. Not just player good, player bad, but how you play the game will impact your team. Also, A.D. Mitchell. He's been going off in preseason. He's been going off in camp. We might catch a glow up, but it's the quarterback situation here. Anthony Richardson, 1 for 6 in the red zone yesterday in practice, with the pinky finger taped up, not looking good at all. Daniel Jones there. He's had moments, he's been more consistent, but he hasn't been undeniable. So a lot of people are talking him up. He's cheap, he's free, he's going undrafted in a lot of drafts. But be on the notion that we could see a major glow up. We may see major volatility. I think he's going to be great for daily fantasy football. If you're doing max entry, that means doing like 100 lineups on a big tournament, and you're doing as many stacks as possible because he'll start off cheap, and you'll be able to finesse higher priced players into that. I think that's his best format, that and best ball. I think setting lineups might make you pull your hair out, but he might also have a glow up this year if they can get the quarterback situation right. Pay attention hard. This is also an upside wide receiver that you can throw a lottery ticket on if you want. Jordan Addison getting suspended, but he's getting all the targets. McCarthy loves him. He's getting all the targets. up and down the field. I do not care he's missing games. I want to see that price drop. I want to see where he goes in home league drafts. If he's going cheaper than this right here, what you're seeing down here in ADP, round 6-ish, wide receiver 41, you just hit that button. You just hit that button. He's getting targeted left and right. Not just the preseason game, but we're seeing that in training camp. Justin Jefferson dealing with that injury. He'll be back, but he's building rapport with McCarthy. He's building that. That's looking good, and he's cheap. And if he's even cheaper, better. But RJ Harvey, everybody was scared. Don't be scared, homie. Don't be scared. He was listed that way on the depth chart because that's what the Broncos were doing with the rookies. All the rookies were listed last on the depth charts. Comes in early in the game. Don't be scared. Don't be scared of that news. Practice your stoicism. Get better. ADP remains. The explosiveness is there. He's going to get work in the offense. Those are the players we're looking at today. Let me know who you're looking at right now. Who are you drafting? You got any questions? Drop them down below. Hit that subscribe button. Stop missing out. One thing for watching. Catch you on the next video.